China appears to be feeling the heat from the ongoing trade war with the United States. The country's economy grew just 6% in the third quarter when compared to last year. That's the slowest pace in nearly 30 years. The figure continues a downward trend that's persisted for the past 4 years. GDP growth in the second quarter was 6.2%. But the trade war isn't the only factor to blame. China is also struggling with faltering domestic demand and a slowdown in manufacturing. On Tuesday, the IMF downgraded its growth forecast for China from 6.2 to 6.1%. And some experts say this makes the case for greater stimulus from the government, as Olivia Xiong reports from Beijing.
Chinese authorities say the economy's poor performance in the third quarter came as the country faced mounting risks and challenges both at home and abroad. This comes as the ongoing trade war between China and the U.S. takes a toll, and the country sees weak domestic demand. The 6% GDP growth in the third quarter comes in lower than the 6.1% analysts had expected. It is also lower than the 6.2% growth seen in the previous quarter. But the figure is still within the country's GDP growth target for this year, set at 6 to 6.5%, though there's no doubt that this is certainly on the lower side.
前3季度国民经济运行总体平稳，但也要看到，当前国内外经济形势依然严峻复杂，全球经济增长放缓，外部不确定、不稳定因素增多。 国内经济下行压力较大。
Earlier this week, the International Monetary Fund downgraded its growth forecast for the Chinese economy from 6.2 to 6.1% for this year. This is even though recent trade talks in Washington saw U.S. President Donald Trump announce that a Phase 1 deal was being worked out. China has said it hopes for an early agreement, but this is unlikely to change the economic outlook. There has been so far no signal that existing tariffs on billions of dollars of Chinese and U.S. goods would be lifted, and more duties are still planned for December.
近期中美经贸磋商取得了阶段性的成果，这是好事，对市场，对这个中美两国的市场有积极的这种刺激作用，对全球也是一个好的信号，是吧？所以我们觉得这个全球经济，包括全球的这个贸易。 这个越来越朝着这个减少保护和往这个自由方向发展，世界经济包括中国经济都会有更好的这种发展。
There were a few positive signs, though, from the latest set of Chinese data. Industrial output exceeded expectations, growing by 5.8% in September, up from 4.4% in August. Retail sales also grew by 7.8% last month, compared to 7.5% in August. Experts say more economic stimulus measures could be on the cards, though some expect the downward pressure to continue, with Q4 growth figures possibly dipping below 6%. Olivia Xiong, CNA, Beijing.